Liquid's turn to ban.
Oh no, we did. Oh, that was the very last game. What's this group right now?
Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome back, everybody. Ooh, on
5
mic.
seconds remaining.
On mic. All right. Stretch that out a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is the last series
Fnatic
of the
turn to
night.
ban.
This stream, anyway. Fnatic versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid, they're on the decline, Blitzdota. They just lost 2-0 against VGR, while Fnatic, they're on the up and up. They just managed to
10
beat Secret
seconds
2-0.
remaining.
Yes.
Yes.
Although that
5 seconds
that was their
remaining.
first 2 wins of maybe this entire tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Reserve time.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm
Their
pretty
first 2 wins?
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fnatic hadn't won a game.
They
before
hadn't
that.
taken a game off of anybody
No,
else?
they've had a rough time.
All right.
Liquid's
Yes,
Drow
Fnatic
Ranger.
had lost previously 2-0 to Newbie, 2-0 to DC, and 2-0 to
Fnatic's
eHome.
turn
Uh-huh.
to
For
pick.
Fnatic to have any chance at advancing tomorrow, they must win this game. Because at most, right now, can win a maximum of, I will tell you right now, I'll be your stats man. They can
10
have 8
seconds
points max
remaining.
if they win this, which might be enough considering how poorly everybody's doing.
5 seconds
I will
remaining.
update you on the standings so far. eHome is
Okay.
well and ahead right now. They have only tied once, otherwise they have
Reserve
2-0'd all of their opposition, and they are standing at a very comfortable 7 points so far, and they haven't even played the last game today. Digital Chaos has a very comfortable 6 points, and they are up against
Ooh,
Secret, I believe, I'm not sure.
go DC.
Yeah, DC's in a very good spot. Newbie has
Liquid's
5 points,
turn to pick.
and Team Secret, MVP Phoenix, Vici Reborn, and Liquid are all tied for 3 points. So this group is not determined by any means.
Yeah.
This group is wide open. So if Fnatic actually 2-0 this, they still stand a chance if they win
10
out their
seconds
games.
remaining.
Uh-huh.
But if they lose a game here, I think, or if they get 2-0'd,
5
they are
seconds remaining.
effectively eliminated. I'm pretty sure.
Bottom of the group, you mean?
They are.
Fanatics turn
And we'll
to
have to
ban.
go into the best of 1 at eliminations, which nobody wants.
Yeah.
So, both of these teams really need a win here. 2 wins, specifically, actually.
Yes, they need 2 wins. Both teams, like, this is the do or die situation
10
of Liquid.
seconds
Yeah.
A
remaining.
team that I don't think a lot of people thought were going to be in this position. DC's ahead of them,
Liquid's turn
Cap.
to ban.
And if I had to tell you beforehand who would do better, I don't know if there'd be many takers of DC.
Yeah. So Action Slacks would have taken you up on that one.
If
I
Sir
think
Action
that
Slacks
is about
wins,
it for the
Yeah,
talent.
they're giving him a cut of $1 if they win this event.
$1 cut?
One whole dollar for Slacks.
Wait, only if they win? If they
Only
take
if they
second,
win.
he doesn't
Nope,
get the
doesn't
dollar?
get that dollar. But he can always say he made prize money off of.
That is true.
10 seconds
That is more
remaining.
than any of us can say about an international.
That is true. He'll have
5
made one
seconds
From a
whole
player
remaining.
position.
Yeah, he'll have made one whole dollar.
Yeah.
Congrats to Slacks.
Reserve
DC's
time.
doing it, man. They 2-0 Newbie. They look very good right now.
Yeah. Well, let us get on to this game. Number 1 of Liquid versus Fnatic. Draw Ranger. First pick for Team Liquid, Ogre Magi, and Phoenix is a response from Fnatic. And Team Liquid will grab the Oracle. Phoenix dropped off. Not really heavily prioritized by too many teams, but
Oh, they banned
Fnatic
the...
going in here, why is it
Turn to
just,
pick.
I mean, they're getting a lot of team fight.
Yes,
But-
it's just a strong opener overall. I think the one downside, though, is laning phase with this hero is always a little bit iffy, unless you can just get free Sun Rayus.
Uh-huh.
Although Ogre Magoo,
That guy has a
10
great
seconds
laning phase.
remaining.
he just runs at you. What
Yeah.
are you supposed to do?
Smacks you in the face.
He's like, bop,
5
bop, bop.
seconds remaining.
Kids bop.
Kids Bop 19.
Kids bop. It's
Reserve
kind of
time.
crazy that Vici is now tied with every other after they started today with 0 win. Like, that shows
Yeah.
you how competitive, or like, I don't even know how DC is leading this group. Nothing makes sense about Dota right now.
Liquid's
Yeah.
turn
I
to
mean,
pick.
could you say that this Group B is kind of terrifying in that regard? That the great teams like Liquid are potentially not going to make top 4?
Fanatics turn
Yes,
to pick.
because honestly, Cap, nobody here wants to be starting in the loser bracket.
Yeah.
Not against, with how competitive you see this field already. Why would you ever want to put yourself in a best of 1 against any of these teams?
Yeah.
You're asking
That
for trouble.
10 seconds.
I think a
remaining.
large part of that comes down to the fact that the power of the
5
wildcard
seconds
1
remaining.
team coming into this. eHome making such a big splash, going from #1 in
Reserve
wildcard and then
slot.
#1 in their group, as opposed to
Liquid's turn to
obviously
pick.
what Escape are doing right now in Group
Yeah.
A.
We kind of knew, I think all of us, that eHome though was going to be very strong going in.
Mhm.
They showed a lot of flashes of brilliance. I mean, they're a strong team, no matter how you look at it. So that's not too surprising.
10 seconds remaining.
They did split the series with Liquid, so that gives me a little bit more hope for them. But at the same
5
time, Fnatic,
seconds
they
remaining.
did just beat Secret, who, honestly, right now, Secret kind of look like they're in
Reserve
shambles.
time.
Yeah, Secret are rapidly falling apart at the seams. We have now an Invoker and Slark picked up for Fnatic. Nyx Assassin goes the way of Team Liquid. That, I believe, is going to be our 4 position. Oh, never mind. That is now 4 position
Fnatic's
Elder Titan
turn to
and
bat.
a offlane Nyx. Why the Nyx Assassin? Just, we think it's good versus Invoker, sure, but we, in the past at least, Nyx Assassin as an offlaner hasn't been picked up when
10
you see
seconds
just one
remaining.
hero that it's good against.
I think it's good against more than just the Invoker.
Okay.
5
I think it's
it's good
fantastic.
against Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes.
Yeah.
Every Phoenix player hates this. Just because your mana pool is kind of crap to begin with. Your ulti costs so much, and more importantly than that,
Liquid's turn to bat.
whenever you Sunray, he can just immediately pop the old spiked. Boop. It is so huge to be able to instantly end the Phoenix Sunray.
Uh-huh.
The problem though is that they've picked one of the best heroes in the game against that Nyx Assassin, in my opinion.
Liquid's turn to pick.
I think
The Slark.
Slark is excellent because he just dark packs everything.
Yeah.
Everything that Nyx does is very exaggerated. His motions.
True.
Pounce is
Tinker.
amazing.
Going to be banned away,
10 seconds
but there
remaining.
is still the Dusa. If Team Liquid
5
want to go
seconds
that
remaining.
route,
I
but it
think
would
that
be
is
going up against a Slark. That doesn't sound good.
I think it's okay.
You think it's okay?
Because what you
Reserve
want to do
time.
against Slark is essentially, remember, every team wants, whenever they play against a Slark, they want to speed up the tempo of the game and make it so that there's nothing Slark can do
Uh-huh.
in fights. So if you take a hero like Dusa, you just go together as 5 and pow all the lanes.
Okay.
I mean, Liquid seem to be pretty enamored with the Death Prophet still, but I think that hero, at the end of this day, has to be falling down their list quite harshly. I did like that Deuce's suggestion, though. What else is there? They could do a Storm of their own. I don't know if Pada's a Storm player. They could do Razor, but doesn't seem like it's the strongest hero here.
Never happened. Well, 1 minute left for Team Liquid to decide. I'm feeling the Dusa again. I don't know. I mean, that could be a Quaswex Invoker with the Slark.
Wind Ranger?
Wind Ranger.
Ah, they saw your phone.
Yeah, I know they did.
You lost.
That'll be fine.
Oh, they could do Viper as well. I don't know. I think
Don't you
Fada
want
just...
more of a scaling mid? Or I guess you're all in and push at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Fada likes to play those heroes that everybody hates playing against. And Viper, Razor, and Deuce are all 3 of those.
Would you really be able to beat out an Invoker well enough, though?
Yeah. All 3 of those heroes beat out an Invoker. We have
Yeah,
some
but
time,
I
though.
mean, you can beat him out, but I'm saying, like, really shut him down enough.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Viper Ola does. So does Razor. The only concern about Razor is that
5
Slark can
seconds
just kind of
remaining.
do Slark thingies. He's just like, Slark. Oh, it is the Deuce, though.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
This is the... I think this is what OG does a lot. / Wings. Trodusa.
We'll see if Liquid can mimic that playstyle.
They're gonna have to cap,
10
or they're
seconds
probably gonna
remaining.
get out. They need every single win right now. Nobody in this group,
5
because of
seconds
how
remaining.
close it is, none of them can afford to lose to each other, especially. That's
Right.
the big thing.
Reserve time.
Man, it's insane. Like, we start off this day talking about the VGR Liquid matchup and saying that Liquid were in a pretty good position because they had tied out with the toughest opponents in their group. But that
I actually thought that
apparently seemed wrong.
all the teams that got to play VGR on day 1 got lucky, because that's when they looked just horrible.
Yeah.
And now, I think they
Horrible.
needed that day to just kind of get everything settled. I think a lot of teams would have 2-0'd them on that day.
Yeah.
So now that they've had time to kind of get everything together and they're showing new looks.
Fnatic rounding out their lineup, an offlaner of some sort.
Let's get hype, Austin. This match might just determine who gets top 12.
I mean, you need an offlaner. You want to get hype. What about a
Get
spirit
hype.
breaker?
A spirit breaker? No way. A real offlaner
A
though?
real offlaner, Darkseer.
10 seconds
DS is good
remaining.
here. Who else
Not
is
too
there?
many left, to be honest. Oh, an ogre off.
So
no,
that
no,
is
no,
an
a
offlane
Phoenix
Phoenix.
offlane.
Yeah, maybe they even go aggro versus the Oracle ET Dro. Or you could just do Ogre plus Phoenix in the offlane and do Ogre things, and you're like,
Yeah,
dot, dot.
I think I like that a lot more. The ogre Phoenix dual lane.
All right, who do you like in the draft first? I'm not gonna let you cheat off me, so you go first.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I feel like Liquid were pushed back into a bit of a corner
Yeah.
with their last pick, but I think Invoker and Slark are going to be too slow. I think Fnatic made up with that, with the Phoenix being a faster, like he comes online faster than most other
10
offlaners, but I'm
seconds
not sure if
remaining.
it's going to be enough to stop this 5-man death ball of Liquid from
5 seconds
ending the game, or at
remaining.
least getting a lane of racks in a substantial advantage before Invoker and Slark are ready.
All right, so here we go. Let's do some predictions. Player with the first triple kill. I will
First
say
triple kill? All
that
right.
is oddly specific. I will say
Prepare for
five.
It's hard to say a Dusa.
I'm gonna say something off the bat, weird, and say Jax. Highest amount of physical damage a hero will do to another in one hit. I will go with 501 to 750. Will a tower be denied? Yes. Total number of blink daggers purchased by 25 minutes. Okay.
There is
I
a
think-
Nyx
A Nyx will get one.
and
maybe
maybe Slark.
No, Invoker. I think
Invoker.
2. I think
Two.
0 to 2. 0 to 2.
All right.
All right.
I'll
Some
follow.
GLs given out. I know these teams, by the way, they have good history together. They like each other a lot. They boot camped at the same location.
Mm-hmm.
When Matuma Man was going to play in the finals of Manila, he sought out Mid One so that Mid One could sign his jersey to bless him into
30
battle.
seconds to battle.
I mean, what's the history between Matumba Man and Midwan?
They just
You
like playing Bleach versus One Piece together. I'm not even kidding. They're very
okay.
friendly.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that Mid One doesn't get along with.
Yeah.
Minus like Banana Slam Jammer or something. All right, this top lane. Nobody's gonna get this rune.
All right. Well, we're off to the races. Mind Control going to be pushed back by
The battle
Fnatic.
begins.
Ohio and 343 are going to be doing a dual lane. The Ogre Magi and Phoenix, like we talked about, against the tri lane of Liquids. Should work out for them. I don't anticipate this Oracle ET dual support combination to be all that threatening to an Ogre. As you said earlier, he just kind of derps about.
Yeah, I think that this lane is going to determine a lot of the game. If this lane can accomplish a lot, I think that's where the game just kind of goes out of hand.
Right.
Like this top lane is going to be very hard for Mind Control. He's not playing something that you can normally see contest very hard. Like if he was an Axe in this lane, I'd feel very comfortable. But look, already he's copying a lot of damage. DJ's going to come in. Not going to lay out the stun.
Only hitting DJ.
Oh, Mind Control almost gets stuck. Gotta be careful, our bug.
Got the Fairy Fire if needed in a clutch scenario, and 2 branches to make the most out of those tangos he has.
Yeah.
That is actually the thing I forget the most about it. When I'm playing offlane, just use those branches.
I mean, they're
Tango
there for
efficiency.
consumption, man.
Yeah. They're not stats anymore. Bounce, not gonna land. Mind Control sidesteps that one in exchange for a couple more hits.
Yeah. You think if he was playing something like Tidehunter or Axe, he'd be so happy? But
Yeah.
instead, he is a lowly Nyx assassin, man.
Which does kind of, again, put a question mark on the Nyx Assassin pickup, and may be strong against the Invoker and the Phoenix, but there's certainly other heroes that laning phase-wise would have been better. But we talked about that last series, right? That's just simply the way that Liquid kind of play and draft. They
Yeah.
don't focus so much on the laning phase. They plan out their game into the mid game and late game.
They're gonna have to in a game like this, just because the laning phase for them, I think, is gonna be quite rough. This Phoenix is trying to pull creeps, or stack them at least, which he's gonna be successful at. Probably just gonna sunray them all down, as in this mid lane seems relatively even so far, considering the circumstances of, you know, Fada having Dro Aura.
Well, the level 2's up for Liquid. I think the dual lane of Fnatic just lost. They didn't get enough done in the beginning.
Yeah, which is great for Liquid. Ogre Magoo's gonna try to make his rotation mid, and up at top, Mind Control copying a lot of damage, but unfortunately no more follow-up for Fnatic.
Yeah, the Maledict comes out, and he actually, I don't think he took a point of damage.
Yeah, but Maledict will do 10 damage.
That is true.
Oh, in mid, Fada's not taking a lot of damage because he has Manic Shield.
Well, at least the EMP hit him, and Fada is almost completely out of mana, but he's got a regen pocketed, so none of that really matters.
Quaswex Invoker gonna be pretty good at the deep push in this game. Obviously,
A good bounce there from the Mystic Snake. He had double range creeps, which made it perfect. Third bounce onto the Invoker.
up at top, Mind Control just coking up a good amount of levels, and Ohio is in the nightmare fuel situation of being a level 1 Phoenix. He can take some consolation in the fact that he has the very rare Solar Forge Helm, but that is of little use to him right now.
You've got one of those, don't you, Blitz?
Yes, I've got like 3 of them now, man.
Blitz Dota broke his bond with Valve. Never buying any compendiums or anything for Dota.
Now I spent like 200 bucks, man. What's
And
wrong
then
with
all
me?
of a sudden he just spent like 200 bucks
Guys, I have
opening
a
chests.
problem.
He really does. All that CSGO gambling that got taken away from him.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy T Martin. So at this top lane, mid
Another EMP.
Oh,
Fada is gonna be burnt
perfectly
out.
fine.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be fine with a little some mana. That's okay though.
It's okay. He's got bottle charges.
Yeah. That's a beauty of like that mid bottle scenario at Dusa. It's just like you feel the efficiency. Like every bottle charge is like so much HP.
Yeah. What's supposed to happen in this? Like Phoenix is level 2. He's already gone back to base once. I bet right now Ohio's like, this is not what you guys told me was gonna happen. In
This
game.
was not what was promised.
Yeah, he's just like this. Guys, I thought we were gonna have a much better time as
Mind
up at top.
Control tries to wait out the Dark Pack, but he goes in a little early, but they actually might just be able to kill 3-4-3. In fact, they do, and Mind Control, he may survive. Oh, it's a fairy fire. Oh
Everyone's
my
dying.
God, everyone's dying. Jarek, he's got the level 2 nukes. He actually stopped mid one from being able to attack. The Dark Pack goes down, but Mind Control, he's back. He's got a spike. What? Oh my God, mid one just right-clicked himself to death.
Oh, he couldn't help himself.
Oh my God.
Self-control is a virtue.
What's happening? Mid lane, Kuro, double TPs. Looks like they managed to force Mushi back, and both supports TP'd into mid lane.
Whew, that was spicy. What just happened
I
at top.
did not actually think. My camera moved over to Mind Control to see if he was going to die to the Maledict, which it was very close.
He timed his hit very well to make sure. And all right, this is the dream laning phase now for a Nyx Assassin. As all of a sudden he's got level 5. Like Mushi would actually love to trade places right now. Like this is
with Mind Control, yeah.
Mushi's just chilling here, just trying not to lose his mind. As Matama Man, gonna finish up the Centaur before he goes back, and Ohio is picking up his level 4, so no longer in that position where he hates
Yeah.
everything about life.
But I have a feeling he's going to die soon.
Radiant's
not.
top
Like
tower
Matama
is
Man
under
specifically picks up a level of Gust, just to see if they can get the kill. Unless Fnatic, sneaky maneuver here, DJ in 3-4-3 with a smoke up across. Their smoke pops, and they have been scouted by this ward.
This Nyx Assassin is a higher level than mid one now. Like what is... He has 4 CS right now. All of a sudden he just... This is the best possible scenario that you want out of a Nyx, and Fnatic have to be feeling some pressure now, but they still have that Quaswex Invoker that you'd expect to start making moves anytime around the map. And this is the downside of playing Quaswex Invoker against all of these heroes, is you're put into pressure. And Liquid right now I think are pretty comfortable just farming. As Fada's trading mana, because he does have that 2nd regen in a row bottled. He's cool with that.
It's the regen rune, the fodder rune. Oh, Ohio it gusted up. Almost ends up going down. Another shot might have actually finished him off.
He cool. What's weird about this build though is that he hasn't opted to get any levels of the Sunray.
I think when you're the offlane Phoenix, you do consider just going for the Fire Spirit. I'm not a fan
Over
of the
dive?
Icarus
The
dive,
dive doesn't-
being leveled.
The
but-
dive does not
middle
scale.
tower
I
is
know
under
it
attack.
does. It really does. I keep seeing this. Like I don't know. I go on a rant every single time, but come on, it's not that much. Okay, level 1 to level 2 actually. I think that's okay. But if I see maxed out Icarus dive, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
Because that is a 200% increase in damage.
Show us your worth. Fire spirits though are very strong,
Yes.
especially against a Drow Ranger and a Medusa. I can imagine that being very proficient as Ohio's now starting to pick up both levels and farm as he has his level 5 and more importantly he's getting a decent amount of CS as mind control up the top finally means push back to him. He's gonna get some much needed CS.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have too much. It did come at a bit of a cost, Ohio's farm. They had 2 supports hanging out in this jungle area for a very long time.
No problemo.
But seems all well worth it, especially with Ohio about to get his supernova. Mushi's gonna come in. That dark tornado nails Jerix, and Jerix actually very smartly manages to purge off the cold snap. Too bad it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Huge rotation over by Fnatic as pretty much everyone makes their way down there. And now it does look like Mind Control wants to go for a play up at top as not really sure if he can grab this kill on the Slark.
Dark Pack just being used? No.
mean,
Mind
that's-
Control's not even looking for him. He's looking for something
He's
else.
making his long way around, seeing if he can make play on Mushi mid, as Mushi's gonna get hit by nothing as Fada got a little greedy there.
Rotation down to bottom lane. 3,
Oh, DJ's gonna get run into in this mid lane.
DJ's down. Mind Control does finally manage to make use of that vendetta. And Fada might just be able to finish up this tier 1 tower with the help of the nation's assassin, but a good EMP can push him back. Fada will run out of mana here. He still has a mango, and he may actually need it. Tornado's gonna miss. It's like he was aiming for Kuro. The stomp landed first.
And Fada probably gonna have to go back now. Does have the bottle coming back, but not in the best position in terms of HP, as TP is gonna start heading down. Phoenix is level 6 now. He's protecting his buddy.
Is Fada just waiting around for his regen rune that's gonna spawn in 10 minutes?
There's no way that he's getting another regen.
He's sitting mid, 10 minutes.
Oh, there's
200 HP.
arcane boots though. I think he's okay. He's gonna bottle himself.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Spread some damage, Fire Spirits, onto the camp.
Oh, Mushi's made his way down here. They even have this
I know.
sentry pre-planted. And Mind Control's gonna make his way all the way around, but
He's gonna run into it. They're gonna spot him soon, but Mushi's actually pushed forward. He misses their tornado onto Jerix. Mind Control. He's gonna go for DJ here, and even with the counter ward out, it doesn't matter.
Dire's structures are
Mind
fortified.
Control making all the space in the world. Now he's pinging up at top as
Mid, stomp attempted out by Kuro. They actually managed to get the stun on the Fada, but he pops the ultimate. Kuro's gonna go for the TP out, but the cold snap's there. Stops the TP. Still though, Liquid are trading their supports Elder Titan in exchange for the mid-tier 1 tower and a lot of rotations out of Fnatic.
yeah. So far they've lost 2 heroes on their team, but both have been supports. I think they're gonna
Dire's
find that
bottom
well
tower
worth
is
it
under
as
attack.
both these heroes now on Fnatic. Gonna run in, and that's a bloodlusted
Dire's
Phoenix.
structures are fortified.
Probably not too concerned about him, as Matama Man does have enough HP. Kind of just stalking around as mid one's just going to continue to try to farm out. And I think for Liquid right now, you want to try to slow down this hero if possible.
Yeah.
And Smoke's going to be popped by Fnatic as they want to make their move around and do things. They're circling all the way around, but if you've watched my cast once, you'll know that on Dire side, you always invade the Radiant safe lane.
So Liquid should very clearly have an idea about this one. You say you leave it before 10 minutes, well it's 11 minutes in, and here comes the invasion.
Yes, Mushi is trying to play greedy here as Matama Man is...
Jerix will pop the smoke.
Yeah, Jerix is going to pop it, and they're going to see Mushi here now.
Yeah, oh, double tornado actually. Mushi just blindly hits 2, and Mind Control hits 2 of his own. Now the Phoenix is going to be able to make the dive in, but it may not make the difference. They're going to be able to right-click it down quite easily. 3 are going to fall. Jerix picks up the double kill, and Mushi will be the only one to escape that slaughter.
so far so rough as Team Liquid. Again, that's what you have to anticipate, that people are going to make that rotation down. It's the one we talk about almost every single game that you see out of ours, is that Dire around that 10-minute mark is going to make that rotation into the Radiant jungle. This is just
Dire's
standard
middle tower is under
rule set
attack.
play by most Dota players nowadays if you watch competitive Dota. So now Liquid trying to stay one step ahead. The big thing for them though is not throwing away this advantage, because right now Fnatic have to be at least a little bit frustrated.
Mushi thinking about going for a tornado EMP here, but the tier 1 tower is already down. His allies not close enough for a quick rotation. Mid one. This is going to be the first Blink Dagger in the game?
I think not, as Jarek tries to go for...
Alright, there it is.
Okay, so he's going for the blink.
Blitz Dota.
Ah, that's risky, man.
MP out. Fada will have his mana burned away.
I think Fada might be dead. Oh,
And no, he's got
they
the
think people are behind him. They have dust?
No, they do not.
Oh, not so many sentries that I figured because they're playing against the Knicks, they'd be prepared.
Not the case here, it seems.
Nope.
8-2. Team Liquid off to a very early start. We watched the Drow Ranger. Oh, there goes the Blink Dagger push onto Kuro, but Kuro managed to get the TP out. He's good.
Mind Control just throws out that stun. He's like, this is just in case.
Yeah. I mean, he's completely right. If mid-one continues to right-click, he'd be hit by the stun. And if he's forced to back away, then Kuro would successfully TP out. So,
yeah, win-win situation right there is mid one. Trying to get a lot done with that Blink Dagger. I just feel like the Blink Dagger is not as scary as the Shadow Blade. I feel like if you get a Shadow Blade, it turns it into a different kind of game. I guess the difference though is that at some point this Invoker's just going to run around QQW'd, ghost walking everywhere.
yeah. Did he get caught? Yeah, Derek's got caught.
Jarek's is the deadest.
Deader than a doornail.
Yeah.
8-3 now. Fnatic finally getting themselves a kill, but that net worth lead. It's looking pretty rough. We're only 14 minutes in the game, and we are about to ramp it up to 11 here for Liquid, as they are going to put further pressure on Fnatic with this Drow Ranger. They want to try and take out the rest of these outer towers.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
and mid one,
tower
gonna
is
run
under
into Mind
attack.
Control here is...
They're going to bait Kuro. Kuro, the stomp goes out. He actually lands here. Mind Control is just going to go for the intel straight out, hoping the damage is going to be enough, and it's not quite. Mystic Snake doesn't hit it. Mid-one managed to get out Gambit. Now turns, fights with the Dark Pack, has to jump himself away though, can't finish any of these heroes. Vada will scare back the rest though with his ultimate. Mushi pushes forward, but a nice spike airbase actually gets the stun onto Mushi, which results in him dying to the combo of Matumba Man and Vada. 1 for 2 so far, and in the back, Ohio, he's got the dive out. He'll be able to make the escape, but
Oh,
now 3-4-3, hit by the Fortune's End, and Matumba Man at a distance will take that draw.
way too greedy of him to go for that kind of play, as they were right in front of him.
Yeah.
And he decided, I'm going to just take out this ward real quick that I know is there.
Dire's top tower
Instead,
is under
turns into a
attack.
pretty bad situation.
Dire's
The good news for them, though, is that the
structures are
Slark lived. All it really cost was Mushi, but it sounds really weird, but it's a trade that you kind of just have to make in this phase of the game. Taking your mid laner away. As now Fnatic, I think they might even smoke down here, which they do, just the two of them.
Very smart though. Liquid preempting every single move. They just used the scan on that tier 2. So they might have some idea. Now it might have been, he might have thought it was a bit of a false flag, and it was just mid one as the Slark cutting through.
Oh,
but
this
it
is
doesn't
very
seem
good
like
timing,
it.
as Vada reads the situation. How many times do we have to repeat it? Bottom lane is very susceptible. Liquid, though, is ambling around, not 100% sure where they want to go quite yet, and for the second time today, we see that Force Staff picked up by that Drow Ranger. Gonna go into that Hurricane Pike very early.
Smoke here from Liquid, not going to be successful.
Radiant's bottom tower has
And
fallen.
they'll lose their tier 1 tower. Liquid, no need to put up a fight for that one, not worth the risk.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that Mushi isn't farming on Fnatic, so there's no secondary core enabling what the Slark is doing. Like, the Slark is going to get pretty powerful no matter what, but a really big point of concern right now for Liquid is that, or for Fnatic, is that this Invoker is just running around smoked trying to make moves happen, and they still haven't. Meanwhile, Medusa is just doing Dusa things. She just pushes passively, continues to farm, and they're playing around her. And Mushi's now trying to get some farm going, but they can't afford another unsuccessful fight around him.
Liquid staying very spread. No real opportunity for Mushi to be able to hit multiple heroes here.
Yeah.
With the Tornado EMP, so they're just going to cop a little bit of tier 2 tower damage, but as the bottom lane pushes in, someone's got to address it, and as soon as Kuro shows himself, the rest of Liquid back out.
I think they recognize that there's not a whole lot that they can happen in this situation. They knew that they brought everybody from Fnatic back in to begin with, so perfectly fine. As
don't want to lose Matumba, man. That is a very big kill. Blink Dagger got to be able to land that pounce. The follow-up stunts from 343, but Jesus, Matumba, man, quite tanky. But now the Phoenix comes in, manages to get off the Supernova, but the save out from the Oracle. They're going to be able to kill the egg. Mid-one continuing to push forward, desperate to be able to get the kill. Matumba, man, the saves are there from Jarex, and now the stomp as well. Kuro hits 2, and Mid-one dropping lower and lower. They just need a little bit more damage. Kuro hoping to be able to keep pace, stop the Blink Dagger, but it's up in time. The cooldown out. Slark manages to blink himself away, but a big win. They keep the Drow Ranger alive, they kill the Phoenix as well as the Witch Doctor, and they just so happen to be right next to the Roshan pit.
I think they wouldn't go for this Roshan, but because the Phoenix is dead and Phoenix is probably the best Roshan fighting hero in Dota, they're going to go for this. Although Mushi, if he has anything to say about it, going to throw in that Tornado EMP.
No, the Tornado EMP only landing on Mind Control. He's like Carapace. He's actually going to hit him. Mind Control playing that one out beautifully, and now they're going to try and hit the stomp. 343, not going to be snagged by that one. Jarex.
That stun does not
connect. Trouble, but he'll be okay. Mid-one now going to come over, trying to jump onto Jarex even further. He needs some heals. Death Ward, a little bit of damage, and the Maledict will pop him. That is enough. Yep. Fnatic will push Liquid back from the Roshan pit. And a further jump in. Whoa. Mid-one, careful. Manages to get himself outside of the range of the stomp. They lost a lot of mana too. Right-hand side.
Trying to go for
Matumba, man, don't go for a support by yourself. You need some backup.
Yeah, and they're even going to run into him here as the Slark has his ultimate ready. He's trying to guess right now, but doesn't have the best situation in terms of mana, as Mind Control is going to get spotted out now, which is going to force Mid-one to back. Still, Liquid, they trade their Oracle in return for Mushi, who we already talked about his woes.
Yeah, he's not getting any item progression anytime soon unless Fnatic can find a big team fight. And all they're managing to do is just barely scrape by, right? They barely managed to stop Liquid from taking Roshan, but they haven't actually won anything big.
Yeah, they're going to walk back into the Rosh pit. They do have the Phoenix Egg available now, and I think this might prompt Mushi to start making his way down, and I think Liquid's going to know about that, as Mind Control might just be in no man's land, as he is under the vision of a sentry.
It really is. Pops the spike, Carapace, bounces back a little bit of damage on that Invoker. Liquid.
This is a fight that Fnatic really want to take.
Death Ward used though. 343 going to be silenced up, and Matumba Man makes short work of him and returns to the Roshan pit.
Yeah, they're just going to allow him to solo take this, send them back. Liquid. Quite dominant right now. Mid-one's gonna go for it though. Immediately makes his way in, but he missed the Hurricane Pike, and now the ultimate. Oh no, the Elder Titan. He landed right on top of the cliff. He doesn't have the pounce out just yet, and that makes him food for fodder. Jarex will take the last hit with his nukes, ending the killing spree of Mid-one, the only hero on Fnatic who is doing kind of okay. Kind of okay. What a way to end a sentence, but you're completely right. I mean, Fnatic right now, it's 20 short minutes into this game, 20k gold lead XP. Alright, so typically what ends up happening is if the XP is okay, but the gold lead is one-sided, then normally you're still in the game. But when both the XP and the gold lead kind of follow, like, if you get at least half of it, then you're in a really rough position.
Yeah.
And right now, it's even more than that. It's 7,500 experience.
Well, if they could get a pick off on Matumba Man, that would change a lot. The Hurricane Pike gets him some distance. Matumba Man's also quite tanky. The Maledict, though, is going to cut that HP in half unless Jarrett's comes in with a save. And sure enough, that ultimate and the heals will start doing its work. Fada is going to try and slow down these heroes. DJ is going to be the first victim. Fnatic now trying to get Mushi out of here, but he's been silenced up. He doesn't have his invis just yet. Couple more seconds for that one, but he's not going to be able to do it in time. Liquid punishing Fnatic every step of the way. They're nothing but business now after that loss to Vici Gaming Reborn.
Yeah, it looks like it woke them up because we saw very uncharacteristic moves from Liquid in that game where it just felt like they kind of lost their place, whereas Fnatic this time they are not keeping up whatsoever. Their laning phase kind of fell to pieces quite early, and now after that top engagement where Jarrett's just kind of walked in and got a bunch of kills.
Liquid start chipping away at that tier 3. They've got a few seconds until the Invoker's back up, and they still have that Aegis in the hands of Fada.
Yeah, he's still just a walking tank. No way that Fnatic really want to engage this straight up.
Yeah, no reason to push high ground without that Linken's that they lost on the Courier.
Yeah, very unfortunate for them. But I think Liquid, you just continue to reset the fights constantly. You'll naturally just passively get ahead at this rate. I mean, Mushi is going to be happy with a 25-minute Orchid at this point. Can't really imagine him getting that much more farmed after that fact, though.
Yeah, because he's not going to get pickoffs, right? Liquid should just stay 5-man.
This is kind of what happened to Liquid that went so wrong, is they left themselves available for so many different pickoffs in the previous game, but this time it seems like they're so much more committed to the 5-man.
Right. The Axe coming in from Matumba Man, is that his next item choice? He is going all out, like, kind of tanky survivability, and I like it with when you've got a Deuce on your team.
Yeah, I think he recognizes that.
I'll take that.
I mean, I think he saw the Tesla Ranger that DR pulled out. He's like, I want to be that.
And it just so happens the build up into that means a Drow Ranger that can take a punch, or 3, or 5.
With this Lark build, you just want to be able to jump on one target, immediately neutralize them, then pop your ultimate and run away. But hasn't happened so far, and that's kind of why I was advocating going for the Shadowblade build, just because I felt like he'd have more success there. But Matumba Man almost has that Ags available, and they have a lot of different items that are filtering in. I imagine that Liquid, they want to take advantage of this Aegis, but at the same time, they're torn in this situation where they want to also wait for their items, but it looks like they're going to forgo that entirely, especially with that missed EMP tornado.
Slark bought a little bit of time. 3-4-3 is going to be hit by long-range stun and immediately taken out. Now the two cores of Liquid, Fada and Matumba Man on the front lines, but Fada has been burned out of his mana and has a Maledict on him. Still, they feel good enough to be able to take that tier 3 tower. The deny comes down from Mushi. Jump in for mid one. Poking at Matumba Man. Liquid still have plenty of sustain, though. They've got a couple of arcane boots. They've got the heals coming out from Jarex. They could just wait 20 seconds, and they'll pretty much be right back up to full HP and full mana.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to go for this. They feel incredibly comfortable, especially with that Oracle ultimate.
Gets a couple of Essence Shift steals there from Fada.
Alright, now they'll definitely go for it without that Tornado EMP.
Yeah, there's no counter ward, and it's actually going to be able to hit the stun on Ohio with a follow-up silence. If they can finish him off, that'll be big. There's no team fight left, but they can't actually finish him off, and this means that Supernova could come back into play. Fada actually moving forward with his ultimate stops the progression of Fnatic as they try to punish Liquid for their forward positioning.
I think that's just going to stop that push right there. As the Aegis is about to fade, they have a lot of different items. Drow Ranger's going to go back for her Ags. And overall win for Fnatic. They didn't lose anybody there. They didn't lose their Phoenix. They managed to hold on without having to commit too much. No buybacks or anything like that. Power being taken is pretty natural in a game like this, so I think they're going to be A-okay with what just happened, but they're still just kind of looking around to see.
Fnatic, you've got to get aggressive at this point, right? You can't. You've got a little bit of time until Roshan, so if you want to farm for a minute or two, sure, but
It's just difficult because there's no one that Mushi can really pick off, and there's no one that mid one can pick off, and both of these heroes are meant to kind of create chaos. I think they saw, or at least they heard about the VGR game, and how Liquid is susceptible to these solo pickoffs. But this game around, Liquid has just kind of created this tight ball behind this Dusa, which has not enabled Fnatic to make any plays.
Mid one jumps on Abada again. This is not really full commitment. Instantly, the Sunray stopped by mind control.
Yeah, that was very good by him. They don't want to hard commit for this though, because it is still a Phoenix egg. A lot of different things can go wrong. But Fada gonna lead the way once again. Kind of out of mana, but
Stun, not gonna land in time. The pounce out there for mid one. But Tumba Man always protected by Jerix. And now with the stomp landing, 3-4-3. Almost taken out there by Matumba Man. But on the front lines, they do manage to get the Ghost once again, but they're stopped by Mushi plus DJ. This could turn bad fast. Fada, already down to half HP, is going to be able to get off his ultimate. Ohio was hoping to be able to be in position for a Supernova, but couldn't really get it off in time thanks to that Gust. And Liquid will make yet another retreat. But as we said last time, another victory for Fnatic. They got the mid tower.
That was huge for Fnatic. The fact that they were able to save their Phoenix, actually, that was huge for Liquid, because they got pretty lucky that they didn't lose anybody there. It was almost a situation where they were able to pick off both the Dusa and the Dro Ranger for relatively low cost, as mid one's going to run in. He gets spotted by mind control, but he's got no one near him. Now, Fnatic are going to try to go on a de-warding mission. The downside for Fnatic is that their supports are still poor as hell. Like, these guys hate everything.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do when your most expensive item that you pulled together is like a wand?
At a certain point, walking around and being the gigantic tank is kind of fun as Ogre Magi, but if you don't get any item progression, and that 10 armor no longer means as much to a Drow Ranger who's putting out over 250 damage a shot.
Yeah, I want Fnatic to... I don't know. This is rough position because I've seen Fnatic play better than this, and I've seen them make better moves than this, but it feels like things are just kind of spiraling for them.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team that I had pretty high hopes for to get at least top 8, and right now it's kind of looking like they're not even going to make it out of the groups in those top 4.
Their hopes lie on being able to take 2-0 against Liquid here, and that all starts in this game number 1 and holding against the inevitable Drow Ranger push to high ground. They did just manage to get a tier 1 at mid as well as top. Fresh influx of gold. That won't fully change things for Fnatic, but it is the trickle that can start the stream. Fnatic just waiting for Team Liquid to go high ground once again and try and create the 3rd hold in a row from them.
Yeah. You know what you should do if you're Fnatic? Everyone buy Midas. Here's what you do, alright? Hear me out. Everybody buys a Midas, then when Liquid pushes with 5 creeps, you instantly Midas that entire wave. Stopping the push from Liquid for another 30 seconds, and ensuring that everybody on your team gets an even distribution of gold.
And what happens when the next wave comes in?
I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah, you don't need to think.
Fnatic are so far away from their base. Liquid's just gonna walk in and Fnatic's like, oh shit. Like, that Ogre doesn't even have a TP, what's going on?
Yeah, Liquid are like, what happened? Like, they defended so well and they just gave up?
There's... that is like...
range racks.
That feels awful. Like, if you're Fnatic, you work so hard to save that Rax, and then Liquid just kind of like pokes in and they're like,
Mid one, you've got a double damage, but don't think you can take on 4 heroes. He's hiding on the side. I think he was preempting having to cut a creep wave.
Yeah. I think he was just trying to find whatever. He's hoping that Liquid right now splits apart, and he can just pick off one of the support heroes really fast, but probably not even going to find any sort of angle there, but...
He is going to jump onto Jerix, perhaps hoping to be able to force the ultimate. Not the case, though.
Man, that just...
Liquid returned fire.
That still looked really funny. Just everybody from Fnatic, like, they're like panic walking back to their base.
No, 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 no,
Dude,
no.
343 wanted a TP. He just couldn't afford one. It's not like this guy is.
Oh man.
Yeah, this game has just been rough for the Fnatic supports because there's no gold income coming in.
Yeah.
They're not taking towers. They're not winning team fights. They're not getting Roshans. They're just kind of walking around placing wards and hoping not to die because everything kills them right now.
Oh, mid one. Will be able to get the pounce out, but he's getting popped. The dark packed it out, just gets popped. Oh no. No ult, no dark pack, not quick enough on the fingers, and now Liquid for sure take second Roche of the game. And with that, I have a hard time seeing Fnatic being able to make some sort of miracle hold against Liquid.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't know. Liquid just, they're not even going to care about that bottom area just because they know that it'll naturally push by itself. Now they're in a position where they can just push mid and stuff. Man, that sucks. The timing of that smoke was so rough. I feel for them. It was a good play to make because they assumed that Liquid would play that slower. It's more that Liquid just kind of said, well, all right, guess we're going for this.
Now Liquid go for the push through middle.
Mind control gonna constantly... Look at this. The Phoenix can't get anything off. Every single time that Ohio's gone for that egg, they just turn around, right-click him 4 times and he dies.
He's gonna have to just dive in eventually and go for this supernova.
Yeah.
They have to make an initiation, and he is really their best option alongside the tornado.
It's gonna have to come down to a really good Phoenix combination that you can hold. I think best thing you do is maybe just dive in.
Oh, instantly guts it right into mid one, tries to make the jump forward, but Tumbaman drops pretty low, but now Fada has his opportunity, actually gets the hold. Mushi stares a little bit too long, turns to stone, and crumbles right before Fada's bow.
Okay, so they have expended a lot. Just as I was saying, I think they need to jump in with Ohio first. Mushi just gets turned around on as Fnatic not really aiming things too well as now from the back line.
Goes that supernova. Liquid though are pretty quick on the retreat. Double force stats will be able to get Tumbaman out of range there. Mind control tanks some damage. And actually might be able to take him out until Jarex actually provides the save. While Fnatic, the other two are getting ripped apart, but Tumbaman, 1, 2, and maybe a third gets the gust on the DJ, instantly stopping the death ward. And Liquid swarm into Fnatic's base. No mercy here. They're going to try and close out the game before the 35-minute marker, going straight for the tier 4s and the throne.
That's going to be most likely GG just because the Invoker doesn't have buyback. Mid one doing the best that he can in a situation like this, but there simply just isn't backup for him. They don't have the egg anymore. He's going to make his move onto Jarex, but everybody from Liquid coming in, mind control. For maybe the 5th time this game is going to spike Carapace, cancel it, and that'll be GG from Fnatic.
Ooh, man, Liquid. They went from really questionable some plays from against BGR to putting on one of the cleaner games we've probably seen in this group stage against Fnatic.
Yes.
Like, they did not give, I think, a single opportunity for a pickoff from either Mushi or Midwan.
Almost all the deaths came in the form of Jarex and Kuro. One death by mind control, and that's fine. Fada and Tumbaman get away with this game clean, and I mean, Fnatic, it really just feels like they're lost once their laning